Today in history. On Thursday, November 6, 2003, Philip Effiong, the first vice president and the second and last president of the defunct Republic of Biafra, died. On Tuesday, November 6, 1962, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution condemning South Africa's racist apartheid policies and calling on all its members to end economic and military relations with the country. On Tuesday, November 6, 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States over a deeply divided Democratic Party. He became the first Republican to win the presidency. Lincoln received only 40% of the popular vote.
A very good afternoon to you, our viewers. My name is Shegun Odwanya. Welcome to another wonderful episode of The Roundtable. The Roundtable is the show where we dissect happenings in the polity. We bring them to the roundtable here and we discuss. We have two guests usually, that is the norm. And together with myself, the presenter, we bring these issues to you, our viewers. I have two wonderful individuals here with me, very intelligent and handsome young men. Let me start from my right. Mohammed Lawal is to my right. Good afternoon to you, Mohammed. Yeah. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here this sunny Thursday afternoon.
I appreciate the team for calling me as well.
And to my left, I have Hamid Fateh, a regular who has been absent for a while. In football terms, they will say he was injured or away from duty. Here is this wonderful afternoon.
Good afternoon, Shegun.
Good afternoon.
It's nice being on the show.
Yes, it is.
I was saying earlier that the last time I was on the show, you were a single boy, but now you're a married man. Welcome to the league.
Well, to God be the glory.
Nice to be on the show.
Thank you very much, Hamid. All right, very quickly, we go into the issues before us this afternoon. And what issues are these? The very first topic of discourse is the issue that has to do with opposition parties and their various court cases. They've been losing right, left, and center. Is this witch hunting or is this judicial excellence? Once again, I repeat, opposition parties and their court cases. A very big question, which is this witch hunting or is this excellence of the judiciary? I think I want to start with you, Ahmed. Look at what happened at Zamfara. The governor was not totally thrown out in the person of Governor Dauda Lawan, but there will be a rerun in certain local governments. I remember that their former governor, who belongs to the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, is now a minister, a junior minister, Bello Matawale. And I was watching a clip of the governor, Governor Dauda Lawan, earlier this week, where he was telling his fans now, teaming supporters, fans is what you use in sports, teaming supporters to calm down and not cause chaos, and that even if they asked for a run that very day, that was going to win, and they wanted all of them to keep calm. Look at the same thing that happened in Kano. 165,000 ballot papers were said to not have been stamped by the Independent National Electoral Commission. In fact, that is a matter that has generated so much heat. A few hours ago, as of yesterday in Kano, another burning and fighting and chaos took place there, and we all know how sensitive Kano can be. Another issue coming from Kano is also that the governor's name is not on the NNPP's register. Also, just this afternoon in Nasarawa, the appeal court had said that Mr. Ombudsman, did I get his name correctly now? Of the SDP, was not the one that won, because the tribunal said there was no space for Governor Sule, and that he had to leave, and that it was the other man, Omoguadu. He's not a governor. I'm sorry, he's not a governor yet, so you are not calling him name frequently. You don't really know how to pronounce. I hope I'm not murdering the name now. No. And that ruling should be set. That verdict should be set aside. Now, of course, I know it will go to the Supreme Court, but the question on our lips now, back to the question, is this judicial excellence, or is this the ruling party playing gimmicks, trying to cause chaos here and there?
Thank you so much, Shegun. In the last few days, there has been a lot of issues which revolves around politics in Nigeria. And to be very honest with you, from my own perspective, I strongly believe this is political witch hunting. not judicial excellence in any way. Now, let us give ourselves an example. Look at the appeal court declaring Dauna in Kano as the winner of the election against Abba Gida Gida. Now, Yusuf Abba Gida Gida. Yeah. So, Yusuf Abba, who is the governor that was declared by INEC to have won the election, is now he has been set back home by the appeal court that he is not the rightful winner of the election. Now, this is the first question. In case of Kano now, for example. Now, over 165,000
ballot papers that were not stamped and signed
by INEC. Good.
Now, did they stuff?
The question is this. If these ballot papers were not stamped and signed by INEC, why initially did INEC declare Abba Gida Gida as the governor of Kano State? That's the first question. Now, the second question is, should Abba Kabir Yusuf bear the consequences of the error of
INEC
of the Independent Electoral Commission of Nigeria? So these two questions, as a logical person, will tell you and open your mind to the fact that Nigeria is a country whereby the ones with the power oppress the ones without powers. You get? Because
you do not think that the court was right by declaring that, oh, we spotted the problem here, over 165,000 ballot papers are not signed and stamped.
If you look at the situations we've had about court cases, you get, in the last few weeks and few months, you realize that every declaration of the tribunal was upheld by the appeal court. But today, it had a different turnaround in Nasarawa State, whereby someone who was not declared as a winner by the tribunal is now being declared as a winner by the appeal court. Now, this tells you, from the way this thing is playing out, it is playing out as if, okay, the ruling party, the All Progressive Congress, want to be a totalitarian party in Nigeria. They want to turn Nigeria into a one-party state, a one-party country, whereby it is the All Progressive Congress that rules the country.
Are you trying to marry the courts, the judiciary?
Yes. I'm trying to marry all these cases together.
No, it looks like you are marrying the arms of government. You are marrying the executive and the judiciary, but they're supposed to be a partition.
With what we are seeing, it is not seeming as that. You can't tell me that the voice of 165,000 Kano citizens will be truncated because of the ineptitude of INEC. By now, the court should have declared those who were there that were meant to sign that ballot paper, should have declared them wanted, probably sanctioned, probably even imprisoned.
Now, the question is, if they were not signed, if those ballot papers were not signed and stamped, it probably means they took those ballot papers and stuffed them into the ballot box.
No, I completely disagree with that. Why do I disagree with that? Our election in Nigeria has gone digital. Do you understand? Our election has gone digital. And if our election in Nigeria has gone digital, right, it means that they upload every result on IREV.
So for it to be on IREV, it meant that the right thing was done.
So it is, what's it called? These results were uploaded. So if these results were uploaded,
somebody somewhere did not do their job right.
Exactly. It is someone somewhere that did not do their job right, which is the INEC. So if the INEC is the one responsible for this error, why should it be Abba Yusuf that should bear the consequences of the error of INEC?
So you are saying there's a collision somewhere with some INEC officials, or it must have happened that some persons made it that way to make the election.
It is the error made by INEC, and INEC should be held responsible for the ineptitude, not the someone that massive people troop out to vote for.
Remember that earlier in the week, legal luminary and senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Femi Falana, was saying that it was too big. I mean, this decision that the judiciary was taking was too big because it was going to hurt democracy. He was saying that earlier in the week. Over to you now, Mohammed. You've been itching to speak. Let me give you the Plateau example. I didn't make mention of that earlier. The Plateau example, Caleb Mufwang won the election, over 400,000 votes. Net of the PDP is from Mangu local government. Nethawi of the APC 360,000 or so, 300,000 plus, 400,000 plus, about 100,000 votes. Now, they are taking us back to the past. I mean, by the past, I mean, we've seen such incidents happen before in Zamfara. It also happened with Rivers, whereby the APC had internal issues, I mean, in those places. But now it is the PDP who are said to have internal issues now, in the sense that they didn't have their congresses, you know, in all local governments. They also had matters and problems, just like any other political party. And boom, at the tribunal, Mufwang was kicked out, the governor, PDP. At the appeal court, same thing. Governor Caleb Mufwang was kicked out. And they said Netawe of the APC should come in, despite the fact that the people of Plateau State obviously did not vote for the APC. But like I said, precedence, judicial precedence, which is a norm. We've seen it before in the past. Now, what people are saying, what fans of the PDP are saying, supporters of the PDP are saying, is that this is a pre-election matter. The same thing came up during the presidential court case for Peter Obi and the Labour Party. They said his name was not, and it was regarded as a pre-election matter that could have been taken up only by members of that party as at then. Now, several things are happening. Of course, the justices were clear with the appeal court's judgment. But what's your take on this? The topic still remains judicial excellence or witch hunting.
I think thank you. I think I really enjoyed my partner, the way he has been speaking since. But however, I think Nigeria is in a state of judicial conundrum. You understand?
Why? Why do you think so?
Judicial trickery, gimmick and all of those things all together. These governors, they have started, ruling for the past. They are now in power for 8 months now.
Yeah.
These 9 months rather. This month will make it 9 months. You understand?
They came on board May.
Yeah.
June, July, August, September, October, November.
It's the 9th month.
May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 6 months.
6 months. Thank you. You understand? Yeah. And the judiciary, is a kind of system that is supposed to uphold, free and fair election. Even if the election is not that free, they should also contribute to the stability of the system of government, of governance in the country. But these people now, they are contributing to wreaking havoc in the electoral process.
Why do you say so?
Yeah, for instance, now look at it. Let me cite the ideal of the Kano, the Kano. Okay, you overturned the election against the incumbent governor of Kano State. You understand? That is Abba Yusuf. You understand? But unfortunately, the Attorney General of the state read that the CTC document has it that Abba won the election.
But that was said to have been a mistake.
Okay, what the Attorney General has said.
What
that I said, we are in a country, we are in a state of judicial conundrum. That is, we are being played from one place to the other. It's like we are in a state of judicial, jigsaw puzzle. Something that is not straightforward. We don't
topsy-turvy.
Understand very well. Legality, pig lady, you understand all of those things all together. I just believe that there is need for us to, there's one thing I will always say that a time will come, there will be, I'm not, proclaiming, revolution. There will be ultimate revolution. Because now the people, have been pushed to the wall. You understand? Look at Kano yesterday. They were protesting. They protested. Yeah. Look at...
but it was said to be political. I mean, I heard certain reports as it that certain persons had been arrested.
We could see that when the governor went out yesterday, the citizens, they were, hailing it.
That's why I said it was probably political, because they were probably supporters.
That is that. Again, when you go to Plateau State, even during the election, Plateau people, I said during the election, during the, the verdict or during the sitting or the ruling, the people were protesting that, no, Mufwang is the person who won the election. You understand? We saw the people in the whole, the local government in the state, they were there protesting, showing that this man really won the election. The same thing in Kano, another state, but the one of Nasarawa is another thing that is really, perturbing, you understand? During the election, people were even thinking LP, that is just emotional. Yeah. We were thinking the Labour Party is going to win, but...
people outside of Nasarawa.
Even, you understand? But unfortunately, and if you look at the multicultural system or the ethnic people we have in Nasarawa. Sorry to say, I'm not, we don't have only Hausa people
Yeah.
there. We have many
Yeah,
tribes.
it's,
You
you know,
understand?
because it's close to
You
Abuja, so
understand?
there are several
Look at
areas,
the same thing,
like Lagos.
the same thing with Kaduna,
Yeah.
you know, and some other places like that. But unfortunately, like my friend has said here, he said that there is if you are in power, they want to become totalitarian. You understand? If you are in power, you are trying to to bring everything to your favor. Although when PDP was here for 16 years, they did the same thing too. They have most of the states. You understand? They were controlling virtually the country. You understand? I think the APC, they want to follow the same trend.
Route.
By bringing everything to them. Of course, you can see that is manifesting already.
But I'll stop you very quickly now, Mohammed. Let's take them one after the other.
Yeah.
The cases that were taken to court now, there is obvious judicial explanation for these judgments that have come out so far. Plateau, an explanation. There was lack of a proper internal mechanism that took place. And Zamfara, they shouldn't have announced
sorry,
you.
may I
because,
quickly through this?
I'm trying
Yeah.
to list them now.
Okay.
Same Zamfara, they shouldn't have announced you, Mr. Governor. You had not fulfilled the conditions of the law that should have made you governor. We run blah blah blah. 2, 3. Where else are we going now? And what's Kano? 165,000 ballot papers that were not signed, that were not stamped. Of course, that is against our constitution. Regardless of whose fault it is, we don't care if it's Ahmed Fateh's fault. We don't care if it's we need to sit by the constitution. That is 3. So looking at it, there are constitutional samples to give for the judgments that have come out so far.
But if there is nothing, excellent about the judiciary or the judicial system of Nigeria, you understand? If there is excellence, you wouldn't have living tribunal to appeal from appeal to Supreme Court. It shows that
it's just
I know that it is,
so that you can
it is still on our own part. It is because of we lack trustworthiness. You understand? There is lack of truism in the judicial submissions. And again, there is
I think that is to even make your claim. I mean,
it's not
to confirm that indeed you are right.
It is because
because he allows superiors to take a look at the process.
But are we saying that these people they are still judicial persons or judicial scholars and whatsoever? You understand?
Our justices.
Very well. But why do we have to start moving from one place to the other?
The constitution.
I understand the country is in a chaos. You understand? And you see that we are going through a lot of things. The judiciary has not been able to prosecute all of those people who are siphoning whatsoever belong. Don't let us go there.
It looks like exactly.
Don't let us go there. But however, let us leave it at that, please. Really,
all right, back to you now, Amit. Like I was throwing it at him. Looking at the states mentioned so far, there are constitutional reasons why these cases must go the way they went. I mean, it's up to the lawyers of these guys, the political parties now, and the candidates, to argue in a manner that, I mean, I was in court. I was at the appeal court for the Lagos State government judgment, and the justice was saying that it is not our job as justices to prove for you. It is your job as a lawyer to make it obvious, without a doubt, make it crystal clear, make it visible to the blind and audible to the deaf, that this and this are the reasons why this judgment should go your way. If you've not done enough on your path and you don't bring enough evidence before the court, the court will only respond based on what the justices have heard, have seen, and have been argued, cases that have been argued before them. So now, if for a reason, Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano State, his name is not on the NNPP list, that is one. You remember that the appeal court said that in the first place, the tribunal should have declared, shouldn't in fact, at the stage of the tribunal, the appeal court, in the case of Kano, said that at the tribunal level, it should have been said there that Yusuf Abba shouldn't have even been governor, because according to the sheets presented, the membership list, he was not a member of the NNPP, but said that the tribunal didn't do that. I read it in the judgment.
Good, thank you so much. Shegun, as I said earlier, I said we are in a situation whereby the ruling party, the ones with the power, want to be the ones who control every part of the country. Why was the same thing not, what was it called, applied when we had the presidential case, the one with the Labour Party? The candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, also his name too was not on
the list
of
the register of the Labour Party.
Of the Labour Party at the time. But when that case was brought, it was thrown out of it was thrown to the bin. Why? They said this is a pre-election matter and should have been what's it called, protested by members of the Labour Party. Now the election has gone. Abba Yusuf fly the flag of the national what's it called,
NNPP,
of the NNPP in Kano State, and after flying the flag of NNPP in Kano State, he won the election. That is the most important thing. It's a pre-election matter and should have been addressed before the election. So if why is the ruling that applies for the presidential election not applying for the gubernatorial election in the same country under the same constitution? Now that tells you again, Shegun, that it is a case of the abuse of power and abuse of office. When there are claims out there that the judiciary has been bought, then these are examples that truly the judiciary has been bought. Except if you want to continue to deceive ourselves.
That's very, very controversial because
yes.
I mean, I won't agree to that. Like I said, there are constitutional examples of this.
There are also constitutional examples against those decisions.
I think that's why they have to move to the Supreme Court now. I mean, that is now the final. That after that, if you don't get a judgment in your favor, I mean, there's nothing on the earth for you. But it just shows that you've pursued your case up until to the last. And we do hope that judicial excellence is a major theme for us as a people, because we cannot afford to get it wrong there. And that's why I'm a very big fan of judiciary. We've seen what they've done in the past. Look at the staggered elections we are in now. It's because judiciary came out to say no, wrongs were done here and there, and these persons that are governors do not deserve to be governors because they've breached the constitution, and this other set of persons should be there. We've seen the example in Anambra, we've seen the example in Ekiti, we've seen the example in Edo, we've seen the example in where else? Several, even in Osun, several other states like that. And the judiciary cannot afford to not be the hope of the common man, because where else will the common man run to? Very quickly, we move to the second topic, and we're going to be talking about the controversy that came up some days ago. And before we could say Jack Robinson, it was practically the most talked about thing for about 3 or 4 or even till now. It's still being talked about. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Public Procurement Agency Awards and the Lagos controversy. Remember that on social media a few days ago, I don't think it's up to weeks yet, a few days ago, I mean, it was just all over the place, the amounts used by the governor or by the government to take care of certain things for a quarter. How much for chicken again? Okay, let's start with the deputy governor's wife, who was 30 million, according to what was on the Public Procurement Agency site. That 30 million naira was was disbursed to the wife of the deputy governor to take care of indigent Lagosians. That was one. And then at some point, we also saw that the chief of staff was allocated several millions of naira for chicken. For chicken to all wards. Yeah, to all wards. And it was really controversial. And when that came up, people were expecting the response from the Lagos State government, because usually that's one thing the Lagos State government will dignify you with. They will always give you a response. And the responses that I saw, for me, those responses were quite watery. They were quite watery. The governor was saying it was a mistake. 2 billion naira was a mistake. Somebody was saying on social media that, I mean, they didn't make 2 million, 20 million. They didn't make 2 million, 200 million. but they made 200 million 2 billion,
2 billion
by mistake. I mean, it was written in figures,
I mean,
and it was equally written in words. I mean, if you made a mistake of B, you know, M to B on the keypad, I think it's quite far. And even if you make that mistake and then we understand it, then when you are writing, you know, the extra zero and the comma,
I mean,
you cannot, it's
you
too
would know
far
that
for you
it's
to
just
make a
2
mistake. I
commas
mean,
for a million and 3
but what
commas
that
for a
did
billion.
was start a revolution online, in the sense that people now began to check for other governors.
I mean,
And that people were checking for other governors, people were checking for
It's a
Ogun,
mess.
people were checking for Ekiti. Of course, the governments, representative of the government, various governments came out to say, no. It wasn't just food for the governor or welfare for the governor. It is for, I mean, it wasn't just the governor, it was everybody. It was all encompassing, and a whole lot. Now, very quickly, I think we should start with Lagos, where the whole thing started from. Remember that a gubernatorial candidate in the last election, Mr. Funsho Duarte, was the one who wrote that open letter that led to all of this. Some are even saying it was the Duarte explanation. You know, a lot of things have come out of it. But I think it had made a lot of people more conscious. You know, most times we are all talking about the federal government, wow, the federal government must do this. But our states in recent days have been criticized. And I think rightly so. What do you think now, Ami?
yeah, thank you so much, Shegun. You know, if you followed my antecedents, you would realize that over the years, I've always said that our attention should not really be on the federal government, because the federal government is there at the federal level. Those that our attention should focus on is the state and local government. They are the ones who give us direct governance,
Representation.
and they are the ones that we should properly question. Now, to start with, this is just the time that this issue is just getting attention, and it is because it is Lagos State. That is why attention now was shown on that issue. Journalists over time, we've done several reports to follow the money, to track government spendings,
Yeah,
put the reports
Yeah,
out there,
I agree.
and people will not even read these reports.
I agree.
The citizens of Nigeria will not read this report. There
It
are
won't make the limelight.
hundreds of these
It
reports.
won't make trending topics.
But because the opposition in Lagos State, for example, Mr. Funsho Duarte, I don't know if he is a doctor or a professor. I'm
No,
sorry,
I
but
don't
Mr.
think he
Funsho
is.
Duarte
Yeah.
was able to come out and question the Lagos State government, then brought the attention of people to this thing. First thing is that let us ask ourselves as citizens of the country. I always say these things is in public space. These are not hidden information.
This was on the website, for God's sake.
I mean, it is in every website of almost all the states in the country. So what is left for you is just to put your phone, search. I still said it on Roundtable some weeks ago too. These things, these questions, it's just for you to search on your state, Lagos State, Kwara State, and you'll be able to see what your government is spending. So the first thing I'm impressed about concerning this issue is that it has brought the attention of Nigerians to the
So
things
much
that they do not
consciousness.
know. They have brought their consciousness back to where it is meant to be. They are able to now know that, okay, they can have access to certain information that they think is hidden, which is obviously not hidden. Because this government puts this out there. I mean, are they calling us fools? Do they think we are dumb asses?
All right,
We cannot even.
very quickly,
What's it called?
very quickly, let's hear from Mohammed. Mohammed, like I said, it started last week.
Yeah.
Then it snowballed into a real issue. It was trending for days. I mean, then people began to even explore other states and check, and people were busy wowing on social media. Wow, I did, wow. And state governments representatives were busy coming out to explain, no, that, you know, the fact that they came out to explain must have meant that it did hit a nerve somewhere, because people were asking major questions. But I still want to stay with Lagos before we go elsewhere, because that was the origin of the whole thing. But let's check these issues. The Lagos State governor earlier this week was saying it was a mistake. Some people made mistakes, and that was all he could say to the entire.
Did the governor say that, or the office of the deputy?
The governor. I watched a clip where the governor himself.
The governor himself.
The deputy first, responded.
The deputy made a statement, but the governor spoke and said it was. In fact, I think he just spent about 1 minute or so on that particular subject matter and moved back to was talking about. But for me, I think that was quite watery. I mean, 2 billion to 2 million is not 20 naira to 20 naira. That was quite clear.
Yeah. To me, it is not something new in Nigeria. You understand, and you know very well that Lagos State generates the most of the money to the IGR of the country. You know, that is the internal generation revenue of the country. You understand. So what I just see there is that you know, it is very funny that a whole Lagos State, that is the leading state in the country, will make a mistake on the procurement list. You know, that is not that something hidden, it is something that is available to every one of us. And then you come out effortlessly to deny something that is obvious. You understand? And if you don't forget that Nigerians, most of us, we are educated and we understand the kind of trick that could be played on documents. Look at what he said. He said that even if you are going to make mistake with the figure, are you going to make mistake in words? That is not possible. You understand? And again, for the deputy governor, and it's not even the deputy governor who spoke now. Someone for the office of the deputy governor, spoke on the issue, saying that it was a mistake and omission. And again, Function Doherty, I think, is one of the oppositions that has great plan for what truly opposition means. You understand? This is not the first time. There was a time he called on the Lagos State government, telling the House of Assembly to do a check on a particular amount that is being spent, that is being misappropriated. You understand? So that is opposition. And again, I think we Nigerians, we are found wanting. You understand? Because since there is denigration in the generation of crude oil prices, you understand? At the point in time, the state government they usually go to Abuja for FAC allocation. You understand? And if you know very well they still do, but of course. Yeah. But then they get enormous money. But at this point, billion. But now they do not get what they see before. You understand? So the state now, then when they were generating a lot of money, you understand? We Nigerians, we were doing it because we cannot know. But now they do not generate what they generate before. You understand? They have to pad all their budget before. When they move it from there, there's a way they keep it to themselves. But now they are looking for ways to put it there, to put it out there for us to see. But now that we are hungry, we are suffering, we are hungry, we don't have any hope again. Even those who voted a particular party who is the power now, everybody now, we are shouting, we are screaming, everybody is hopeless now, you understand? So that is why there is now a concerted effort for us to criticize, to go against anybody, irrespective of if we have supported the person before or not. So I think it is appalling, perplexing.
I really think I think the mistake. We have about 20 million people, the population of Lagos. I doubt if 16 or 17 or even 18 million people believe what the governor said, even though when he was saying that people were clapping where it was. But we hope our politicians can do better. I'm not going to make this about Lagos alone now, because it will look like it looks like an attack on Lagos. I saw
48 billion.
The one I saw for Abia was for government house. They have about
over 1 billion.
Over 5 billion from what I saw, from what I read. And then what they allocated to, is it health or housing or something? I was about 700 million. What used to take care of
the welfare is 1 billion naira.
668 million. What? I don't know what Kwara State. That's small.
It doesn't reflect the lives of the people. When these budgets are made.
Funnily enough, there are 3 states.
Ebonyi State, Benue State, Oyo State, Lagos State.
Even the highest borrowing state in Nigeria, Lagos take the lead. After Lagos, we have Oyo State. I'm even surprised when they said Oyo State is owing about 48.7.
It's sad. We really do hope that our politicians, elected by old women, young men, young women, everybody, people come out in the sun and the rain to come out and to cast their votes for you on election day. You get their mandate. It is only necessary that you do the right thing. People only hear billions and every millions on the pages of the newspaper and on the internet. The lives of the people are not particularly positively touched by these monies they hear. Come on. political office holders, I mean, I think Nigerian political office holders, regardless of the party now, can do better. Because from what we saw in a few days, it wasn't just PDP or APC or LP. It was across the board. Come on. Very quickly, move to the last story now. We're going to be talking about the House of Representatives have now decided to probe COVID spending. These are monies that were spent during COVID period. Hospitals and a whole lot of persons. I think they're going to start on the 27th, Monday the 27th.
Before you go deeply into that issue, I just want to quickly attack that issue. It is completely insensitive of the House of Representatives to think as at this moment, at this critical point of Nigeria as a country, the next thing is for them to probe COVID funds of 2020.
Is it wrong?
It is absolute insanity.
Even if it is not
because
wrong,
they are going to probe it, and there is nothing that is going to come from it.
No, we can't be too sure.
Shegun,
that means we are jumping the gun.
This is not the first time they are probing.
Okay, let's go to the last probe now, because I understand.
This is not the first time.
Mohammed, let's go to...
There are a lot of policies that needs to be addressed by the House of Reps.
Let's go to the last probe now, Mohammed. Like he said, the last one was to tertiary institutions, rectors, vice chancellors, and there was even a report then that the committee was chaired by Honorable Yusuf Gadi. Panshim Kanam and Kanke, one of the major spokespersons now for Mr. Nantawe of the APC in Plateau. Okay. He was the chairman of that committee in the House of Reps. And the report was that the House of Reps had a particular account where they were telling these rectors and VCs and heads of tertiary institutions to pay bribes. Of course, that was countered and a lot of things happened. But I'm just saying, going back to what Hamid said now, that what happened the last time, is this going to end in another chaos, in another catastrophe, where A will start attacking B, or will monies be shared again so that they can step down? I mean, what do you think, Mohammed? Very quickly.
The simple submission is, let us go to the probes Nigeria, Nigerian system, all this House of Rep and the senators have been doing so far. Have they ever succeeded in probing a particular thing
successfully?
I think you know the answer. Let us leave it for the audience to judge. And the next one is that where do they have to probe that now? Why are you probing COVID-19 2020 and now? Why now?
That was what Hamid was saying.
Now? Okay, let us look at the people in the parliament. Some people were there when the money were being allocated to different states. Some of them are still in the house. Why is it that those people, they didn't probe it 2 years or 1 year after the COVID-19 ended?
It's still 3 years.
3 years. Why now? You understand? See, I'm sorry to say, I think I'll be going with his submission that we should just let us wait for for another drama to unfold. All
right, very quickly, Hamid, you said, I mean, this is all wrong. We have other better things to do, but this is not bad in itself.
Shegun. Yeah, proving COVID palliatives, right? Spending. This same palliatives was still seen this year locked in a warehouse by some of these House of Rep members, by the members of this National Assembly, in their respective constituency that they are representing. What are they probing? That's the question. You see, we have to be logical when we have to be objective. We have to think straight. We are not dumb people. We are people with working senses. We have common sense. We can think straight. We are intelligent. We are brilliant, and we know what we are doing. So if the House of Representatives do not know what they are doing, then we should tell them that what they are doing is not right. Now, you were the ones that received most of these palliatives.
It was from the government to the government.
Yes. From the government to the government to be shared to the people.
Executive gave legislature, some executive give executive to give to the people.
Now, give these things to the people.
And we saw what happened.
You stock up all these palliatives.
Somebody used it for birthday in Lagos.
Yes.
First time, that is the...
I mean,
a former member of the House of Assembly in Lagos.
For birthday in Lagos. In Adamawa State, just a few months ago, just about 2 months ago, a warehouse was broken by a member of House of...
And they saw COVID materials.
Of a member of House of Representatives or the Senate, and COVID, it's not they saw COVID material. Everything that was there were COVID materials, and everything was looted by people of Adamawa State. Now, this is something that was done by these people. So
the popular video from Jos.
I mean,
when we were on that warehouse, jumping into that warehouse,
diving into that warehouse
from one mast
to the other. I mean, if someone was a professional, people were packing a lot of stuff. Now, this.
They even said it got expired.
Now, these people are the ones that are now probing. the first thing that should be done is that all those warehouses that they lock those things, they should bring those people to the floor of the house and ask them questions. But you will never see them do this. At the end of the day, Shegun, write this down today that Hamid Fatih said that nothing will come out of this probe. They are just wasting time instead of them to use the quality time that we have to better the Nigerians, better the polity and politics or the governance in Nigeria, make legislations that will bring good governance to the people, make legislation that will make the poor feel the goodness of governance, make legislation that will make health better, make legislation that will give us good roads, make legislation that will make us have relief, make legislation that will reduce accidents on our roads. These are the legislation we are asking for, not for them to prove a matter that has been 3 years away. Come on, let them forget about it.
All right, there you have it for my guests in the house this afternoon. Highly emotional, highly interesting debate and conversation coming up here. Like we do it every Thursday, we give you 3 interesting topics that are eating up the polity and the issues that people are speaking about, and we've done the same today, just like every other Thursday. You can feel the atmosphere in the studio. It's more than warm. It's really, really hot in here like a bakery, and thankfully my guys have been able to explain to talk about some of these topics and how they are affecting Nigerians. A very big thank you to everybody who has been behind this production. Sulaiman Adeni, welcome back. Thank you very much for producing us, as you always do. Of course, to the man moving from one camera to the other, Olalekan Adetunji. Thank you very much for being a part of this. On behalf of Mohamed Lawan and Hamid Fatih, my name is Shegun Odwan. Saying have yourselves a fantastic Thursday. And as the weekend commences tomorrow, enjoy yourself. Stay out of trouble. God bless you.
He defeated the 3 other candidates: Southern Democrat John C. Breckinridge, Constitutional Union candidate John Bell, and Northern Democrat Stephen Douglas, U.S. Senator for Illinois.